Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688. 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no obligation in-home consultation.
The Turnpike Sports Book Report is brought to you by BorgataSports.com. Your favorite casino is now your favorite sports book. Available anywhere in New Jersey, BorgataSports.com. Sign up at BorgataSports.com using our promo code PIKE, that's P-I-K-E. Make your first wager of $20 or more and you'll get $100 in free bets. That's $100 in free bets when your first wager on Borgata Sports is $20 or more. Get into the action with BorgataSports.com. Must be 21 years or older and in New Jersey to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry over the past week. This week, in our state and national reports, we got a lot of state benchmarks to talk about. We've got Michigan, Tennessee, Louisiana, New Hampshire, and yes, of course, we have New York to talk about. Deals. We've got a few deals involving Yahoo. We've got deals involving NASCAR and the NHL to hit.
Wow, okay.
Industry updates. We've got some news regarding Fanatics. Mm-hmm. We also have a Las Vegas tourism report we're going to talk about. And also some news coming out of Nevada regarding Golden Nugget.
Okay.
And then we're going to end the show with our legislative roundup with some news coming out of Tennessee, some big changes in their tax structure.
Yes, it's Tennessee's always interesting.
Yeah. North Carolina, and if we have time, we've got a trip up to New England, possibly.
Oh,
with
really?
Some news out of Maine and Vermont.
All right.
So let's get started with our numbers. A lot of states are reporting their March sports betting numbers, and we've got some benchmarks to talk about real quick this week. We've got the state of Michigan reporting their Michigan numbers. They are the 8th state to clear $10 billion all-time post-PASPA handle. They had $10,180,490,355 in terms of handle.
Yeah, they're a huge sports betting market.
Yes.
I love it.
They're actually even one of the bigger ones in online casinos, too.
Yes.
iGaming,
yes.
however you want to call it. Michigan is one of the leaders in just about every kind of aspect of some of these things. Tennessee, which we're going to talk about later in the legislative roundup, became the 11th state with their March sports betting report to pass $8 billion in all-time post-PASPA handle.
Which is great because Tennessee is online only.
Yes.
So I guess you mentioned Vermont before. I guess the Vermont is the looking at the Tennessee model of sports betting
at this
online
current
only.
time.
Okay.
At this current time,
okay.
Yes. But again, and in terms of billions of dollars, I guess you can say Tennessee just squeaked by that mark. Mm-hmm. $8 billion, $23 million, $804,916. So they just got over the $8 billion hump right there.
Okay.
Louisiana, they reported their March numbers. They became the 13th state to hit $3 billion in all-time post-pass per handle. They did it very quickly, by the way. $3,101,629,020.
It's more impressive about Louisiana when you realize that not every parish or county,
Yes.
they call them parishes down there, allows sports betting.
Right.
Which is very interesting.
I still
Part of the state is legal and part of the state is illegal.
I still think that was an admirable feat of geofencing.
Yeah.
That state is like the goal of the geofencing companies
Yeah.
right there, to have that kind of control over those parishes to do that, because there are tiny parishes that have sports betting. There are parishes right next to them that do not have sports betting. So it's kind of interesting to see how that all works. New Hampshire reported their March sports betting numbers. They did state benchmarks here. They have a new monthly handle record of 103,390,000. That was the best mark since January of 2022, where they had 99 million.
And when we're talking about New Hampshire, we're talking about DraftKings.
That's it.
because they are the only sports book operating in the state.
Well, they're the only operator, but there are retail books and other casinos up there, the charity rooms, whatever you want to call them.
But
Congratulations.
when we're talking about online
Yes,
in New
it's
Hampshire,
all
it's
all
all
DraftKings. DraftKings is going to be everywhere in New England, I think.
Yeah. Well, like when Massachusetts started their online sports betting, I signed up for DraftKings.
Yep.
I mean, it's years of sports betting online. I never had a DraftKings account until they went live in Massachusetts. That's the one we tried in Massachusetts. I'm really liking it.
They actually do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of more exclusive games with DraftKings than some of the other casinos, which is really cool.
The cool thing about DraftKings is down in New Jersey, they have a really good online casino, and I'm really enjoying the online casino. They have this one game with the Rocket. I don't even know.
DraftKings Rocket.
It's called DraftKings
Or
Rocket.
DK Rocket or DraftKings
something
Rocket.
like that. And there's a rocket going off. Well, you initially place your bet,
Yep.
and the rocket goes off, and sometimes it explodes early, sometimes it explodes late, but it
As it
lifts
climbs, the prize gets bigger.
off. Yeah, as it gets bigger, it's like it's going up a graph.
Yeah, and you can bail out at any time.
Yeah, you
have
could-
to guess before when
you have to
rocket
bail
hits.
out. It's
Yeah.
like a game of chicken.
Exactly.
So
And we're going to finish up the segment here with New York. And really, what can you say about New York? They began a new fiscal year the first week in April. They're 3 weeks into it with the reports that they've given out already. First 3 weeks in the fiscal year, they already passed $1 billion in handle.
it's amazing.
$1,004,532,022. And I don't know what you can say about New York. I mean, New York's a juggernaut right now,
Well,
but I don't know if what they're gonna do in the slower months, if
Well,
there is such a thing anymore.
Let me tell you something. The Knicks, the Nets, the Islanders, the Rangers,
Oh, yeah.
even the Devils, they were all in the playoffs.
Yep.
So, it's a great sports betting month. It's a great sports month, and not even betting month. Great sports month in New York area. So.
Well, I wonder how much the Aaron Rodgers trade now increased the betting on the Jets.
There's one more thing.
Yeah.
So
Or
it's official now. Now the Jets are all of a sudden they're Super Bowl contenders.
Well,
I can't believe I just said that.
I can't say that
I
yet.
can't
Their
believe
offensive line
well-
still bothers me, but anyway.
I can't believe I just said
I
that.
think you may see a lot of betting against the
Is that
Jets,
one of the
too.
signs of the apocalypse? The New
What?
York Jets are Super Bowl contenders.
When you say Hall of Fame quarterback with the New York Jets,
Well-
other than Joe Namath, maybe Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
I don't know about with
was
his.
that was 15 years ago. I can't
every
believe
15
Brett
years we
Favre.
get a Green Bay quarterback.
Okay,
I'm
well,
waiting for Jordan Love in 15 years. So if he has
Jordan
that,
Love might not even be a Green Bay quarterback this year, so who knows? I don't know. Some weird discussions.
But anyway, I'm wondering if you're going to see a lot of anti-Jet betting too, because you got Buffalo Bills fans, you've even got a lot of Miami Dolphin fans in Jersey. And the New York
I haven't
area.
checked the numbers lately. Is the Buffalo Bills still the favorite
Yes.
in the AFC East?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Well, that may change now, especially after draft.
I don't know.
You got to look at what Buffalo's doing, because their defensive coordinator's gone for the year. He's taking a year off. That means McDermott's calling the defense. I don't remember him doing that in the last couple of years anyway. And they lost a couple linebackers.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we'll see.
It's interesting. I'll see it. Yeah. I might throw a little money on the Jets.
I already
Futures?
did. I already did.
Okay.
I did
all right.
before the trade, so I got better numbers.
Well, yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's it for the state and national reports this week. Let's head on over to some deals. Yahoo just recently made news with their most recent acquisition. They have acquired the social sports betting site Wager.
That's big news. I think that's
It's interesting
really
news. I don't know how big
think
it is.
So. I think they might be one of the first, and I think you might see other deals like this coming down. And Wager's social. It's a social thing. I mean, there's no
Peer-to-peer.
Yeah, there's not going to be money or anything like that.
Well, the way Wager works, for those who are unfamiliar with Wager, people can bet against each other, not the house.
Yeah.
Is what it does. Wager sets the lines. You actually find a person who wants to go against you, and Wager handles all the payouts and how to.
So this is kind of real money.
It is real money.
It is real money, but it's not going through the house kind of thing.
You're not playing against the house. You can play against the house because I think Wager does have a typical or normal or ordinary sports betting aspect to it, but they were the first ones in terms of peer-to-peer to get a license in the United States.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Yahoo does with this because, remember, they have their fantasy side, and they just, what was it, when they first started way back, I think 2 years ago, they got BetMGM, and they've integrated BetMGM into their sports book.
Yeah.
So now they have Wager, and they intend, according to the press release, they intend to fully integrate Wager into their system.
See, that's interesting because I like how Yahoo and Wager are doing this thing, and like I said, I think this might be the first of like similar deals with other platforms and things like that.
I think this might start the trend of fantasy sports platforms and peer-to-peer getting together because I think the peer-to-peer probably applies or appeals more to the fantasy players more so than traditional sports bettors.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in this country aren't used to betting exchanges where you play against somebody else.
Yeah, 'cause that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
When I said real money, I meant real money going to the house. There's real money exchanging between peer-to-peer.
Well, there's real money going to the house. They take a percentage.
Probably like I guess
a minuscule
kind of
percentage.
Yeah, but it's really peer-to-peer. So there is
Exactly.
real money going through it, but it's just not going through the
normal way.
The normal way when you look at a sports book online kind of thing.
So we'll see exactly what they do. But congratulations to Yahoo and Wager. I think that is a good match.
I think so.
Ultimately, it will be.
Well, Yahoo Sports, it's on my phone and things like that. So I'd be curious to see how they integrate Wager on Yahoo Sports and things.
Same
like
way
that.
they do
Yeah.
BetMGM.
So,
I mean,
I
it's
guess
almost seamless if you think about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm sure I'm going to see it in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Speaking of fantasy providers, we have Prize Picks announcing a deal with NASCAR, multi-year deal with NASCAR to become an official fantasy sports partner with the Motor Racing League. This is the first league, U.S. sports league, that Prize Picks has done a deal with. They've previously done deals with the Atlanta United and also the Atlanta Braves of the Major League Baseball. So, they've done team-specific deals. This is the first league deal they've done. I'm assuming they're headquartered in Atlanta because they're doing a lot of stuff with the Atlanta team.
I'm seeing a lot of Prize Picks commercials.
Everywhere
in New Jersey.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of advertising lately. It's almost like hearkening back to the old days of fantasy sports commercials out there. But I'm starting to see a lot of them too.
Yeah.
So you're going to see Prize Picks have prominent positions at a lot of the races. You're going to have. It's going to start off with let me get the name of the thing right. They're going to have placement over in, NASCAR Cup Series, Geico 500 at Talladega Super Speedway. And also this comes with NASCAR celebrating its 75th year.
Wow, 75? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is actually a great partnership.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways you can do fantasy NASCAR. You've got fantasy score. You've got NASCAR points you could base it on. You can do fastest laps.
There's a ton of
laps
ways.
led, pole position.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I do the the odds aren't great, but it's like the top 10.
You do the podium finishes.
Yeah.
First 3 and then 5 and then
I think
10.
you can do teams too, and things
you can
like
do
that.
teams. You can do
is a
cars.
different way. Yeah, no, it's amazing.
You can do brands of cars. Ford
yeah,
versus
you can. I've
Toyota.
seen that
yeah.
too. Fords versus Chevys. And
all that
like
stuff.
That,
There's so many different ways you can do this, and that's a great partnership there as well.
Yeah.
Low 6, the free to play provider, has announced a deal with the NHL. This is the first time they're doing something in the United States with the NHL. They have done stuff in Canada. They partnered with Bet99 for the NHL in December. They've been running free-to-play games through the NHL up there in the broadcast area. It's a second screen.
Yeah, okay.
Where they just do an overlay of a predictive game.
All right.
So we're going to be seeing a lot of low six. Well, we're going to be seeing a lot of predictive game. If you're not aware of it's a low six game, you won't know it's low six. It'll be integrated very nice and easy into the broadcast.
All right.
You're going to see NHL Stat Streak. That's one of the games. NHL Winter Classic stuff. You're going to see NHL Stadium Series. You're going to see a whole bunch of different things as they go along with all this. They've been doing this for a while. One of the games they did in Canada, which was kind of interesting. I actually seen this. The NHL Goalie Challenge game.
Okay.
Fans play. They choose 3 NHL goalies to either get a win, rack up the most saves, and have the fewest goals scored against them.
Oh,
so
okay.
there's different angles.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
The goalie thing, that's kind of interesting. I hope they do that in the United States, too.
Yeah. No, that
looks like a fun game.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, no.
So that's it for our deal segment. Let's head on over to some industry updates.
Game starts at 20, bed slip is empty. I gotta call KG.
KG, what up?
I got nothing for you, Fox.
Ah, come on. Jalen. You want to tell?
Yeah.
Don't call somebody on live TV.
Well, you answered. I have other friends anyway.
Marshawn, Barry.
Listen, I need some tips.
I like LA.
LA?
No, Dallas. That's
Dallas?
Dallas.
Dallas?
How about Detroit?
I'll call y'all right now. Vanessa.
I got a tip for you. Always go with your gut.
I like that.
Let's go with our gut.
We're going to start off this week's industry updates with a report from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority.
Okay.
They have reported for the total visitation amounts in terms of revenue and people for the past year in 2022, and they always compare it to 2019, pre-pandemic levels.
Mm-hmm.
According to the CVA in Las Vegas, total spending by visitors reached a record $79.3 billion in 2022. That's almost 25% more than what it was in 2019, pre-pandemic.
Now, could that be? I haven't heard the number of visitors. This is about the spending. I'm very curious. You know, things are a lot more expensive than they were in 2019. I mean,
some places a lot more.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're saying the amount of people increased, or the amount, or if a smaller number of people came but spent more. You know,
smaller number of people came.
Okay, so that's what they're saying?
By about 4 million people. That's
Okay.
all. It wasn't really. That's a drop in the bucket when you're talking millions of people. You had 38.8 million visitors in 2022. That was 3.7 million visitors less than 2019. So overall spending increased. Overall visitation sort of decreased.
Okay.
Or if you want to look at it this way, it plateaued.
Well, look, hey, it's all about the cash. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if less people come but spend more, hey, that's good. I know they're going to have a big fall in Vegas, because this F1 I'm hearing a lot about.
Oh, yeah.
They're preparing right now. I saw on social media that they're really getting things ready right now, so it's going to be fun.
Well, I just wonder how much the draft last year helped them.
Sure.
Because there was a lot of spending going on with the draft there. And also March Madness previous year, you know, in terms of just visitation. A lot of people like going to Vegas for March Madness.
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of different
we
things
have a
going
neighbor
on.
here who loves going to Vegas because he thinks it's cheap. It's still a cheap vacation.
Oh, yeah.
So it's still, you know, you got a lot of hotel spaces that you can go, and they're all competing with each other.
Yep.
So, you know, that's good for the consumer, and it keeps the prices relatively low. But, you know, things go up in price.
Yep.
Like, we're having some difficult economic times, but it's still a cheap vacation.
Well, if you also think about it, now that they have multiple professional sports teams in Vegas,
Yeah, that
helps a lot too.
I mean, sure.
You got they had the Raiders, you had the Aces, you have they have something else. They have the soccer team.
Yeah.
Las Vegas Lights, I think it is.
I don't know. I don't know what the soccer team.
They have a pro soccer team. They have just about every sport there except the basketball team, and they're going to get a baseball team.
I guess soon to be. They have the A's.
Yes,
so,
they don't have them yet.
No. It's,
But the only other team they don't have
not official.
They don't have a pro basketball team. They have a pro women's basketball team, but not a pro men's basketball team.
Does Tom Brady own a piece of the
Aces.
Las Vegas
Yes.
Aces? I saw that. Right?
He owns
Okay.
a piece of just about everything.
All right.
so-
Well, hey, it's it's Tom Brady's world. We're all living in it.
Exactly. Well, staying in Nevada, we've got news coming from Golden Nugget. Golden Nugget announced its sports betting app has ceased to exist for the time being.
For the time being. Okay. So
Don't take that announcement
Right.
with a grain of salt. April 26th, they shut down.
Okay.
They have said that they are coming up with a better sports betting experience
Good. I hope so.
for customers in Nevada. They were allowing people who to withdraw their balances at physical sports books as well as online for a while
Okay.
before they shut down. So we'll see exactly what they come up with in terms of what the better experience is going to be. I always like it when they say this is what the press release said, providing a new mobile solution in the future.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means.
God, what marketing speak.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, Golden Nugget's a great brand. I mean, here
Yes.
in New Jersey, they always have the top online casino. I know
Yes.
in Vegas and Nevada, they don't allow online casinos, but in New Jersey, Golden Nugget's always been at the top of the list when it comes to online casinos. So
Yes.
that's a great brand.
Yes. Last entry for this week's industry updates, we've got Fanatics. Fanatics originally, when they came onto the scene, said they'd be launching in 20 to 25 states right off the bat. The CEO, Rubin, has announced, or seems to have backtracked off those statements. They're looking at maybe a dozen
Okay.
that they're saying, 12 to 15 states now, something like that. They're beta testing in Tennessee. They just started beta testing in Ohio. Massachusetts, they got their House rules approved unanimously.
Yeah, they
so
just
they're
had
one
a
step
meeting.
closer.
Yeah, they had a
They're one
meeting
step
with
closer.
the commission.
Yep.
The other week.
And the last step for them is when they're ready, they got to go through the testing and they got to get their certificate of operation from the Gaming Commission. So they are slowly moving ahead with their launch and rollout, whatever you want to call it. They're only in 2 states right now,
Okay.
beta testing. So we'll see exactly what they can do down the road. Supposedly,
I'm looking forward to Fanatics.
I am too. I'm very curious. I've seen the pictures of the screens
Well,
from the beta testers, and really cool.
When
looking
you're
screens.
a customer of them for clothing, I have a ton of sports, jackets and sweatshirts and shirts and things like that. So they have that name appeal to me. So I'm very curious to see their sportsbook product.
And I hope they do a lot of apparel promos.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So,
I like that.
But anyway, they're supposedly launching in Massachusetts sometime in May.
Great.
So we'll see when that actually happens. Let's finish up with our legislative roundup. Big news out of Tennessee. They basically changed their entire sports betting tax structure.
Well, look, I mean, Tennessee is a very interesting state. Like we were saying, it's online sports books only. There's no retail sports books. And they have a law that the sports books have to have a 10% hold.
Or get fined.
Well,
they no longer have that.
Okay.
They've actually changed the entire way of looking at how to do a taxing structure for a sports betting operator. They were doing the 10%, the legislative hold of 10%, and taxing the adjusted gaming revenue.
Yeah.
They are no longer doing that. They are doing 1.85% of the sportsbook's total handle.
Which I have not heard any comments from the sportsbooks. Have you heard anything? Do the sportsbooks like this? Is it
At the time we're taping this, it has not been signed into law yet.
Okay.
But the House and the Senate both agreed on it. And I think it comes all back to that legislative hold requirement. When sportsbooks were being fined, I think they were also supposed to be making up the difference in some way, shape, or form, and they weren't doing that.
Well, I just...
And it has nothing to do with they were trying to steal money from the state or anything like that. I think it was just oversight.
Well, my knee-jerk reaction when I heard this is like taxing the handle. I mean, I don't know how fair that is. For me, that's my first thing when I thought of, gee, how fair is that to the sports books? The handle, I mean, the handle is how much someone bets, so it's not the sports book's money yet until the result comes in. And then there's a payout, and then there's the hold from the sports books. I always think that would be the appropriate way to tax. I mean, when you have a handle, that's money that's
not yet
still
yours.
Up in the air. It's still not earned by either party yet. The result of the bet has to come through until you find out who made out on the situation, who made out on that deal, and what money goes to what party. So that was my knee-jerk reaction to taxing the handle.
I don't have a problem with a state taxing the sports bettor's handle because it's such a low percentage. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're effectively doing maybe, 5 to 10% of the gross gaming revenue anyway when you look at a 1% tax.
This might be one of those situations where everyone's going to look at it and they're going to see, how this works out. Does it work out to the benefit of one party to the other, or does it penalize one party over another? So this will be a very interesting thing for people in the sports betting industry to look at.
Well, when you have a state where certain sports books in the state have yet to pay taxes, this changes that ball game all the way around.
Yeah, I'm just.
And
I'm
you
just
may end
curious
up you may end up finding once this is actually, if it's actually implemented and it's actually going along, this may end up being a case of half dozen on one hand, six of the same on the other.
Yeah.
So it may not be really too much of a difference in terms of tax revenue.
Certainly, other states are going to look at this and see how this works out. So.
Well, we've also got news coming out of North Carolina. They've passed a bill. The House of Representatives passed a bill to allow online sports betting for 10 to 12 sportsbook operators under the control of the North Carolina State Lottery. We'll see where that goes along in terms of where that law will be passed. Basically, this is where it's interesting, and I don't know if this is going to be a sticking point for anybody, but it's online betting anywhere but the tribal lands, the tribal casinos, tribal lands.
Okay.
And they're going to have to geofence the tribal lands. So that's going to be interesting to see if they actually get that passed. Be kind of fun to see that, too.
Yeah.
That's going to be like the parishes in New Orleans, in Louisiana.
It can be done.
It can be done.
With today's technology, it can be done. So.
And we do have time for real quickly. We've got news coming out of Maine and Vermont. Maine is proposing the toughest advertising standards in the country.
Yeah, I heard about this.
This is just kind of interesting to see. This is too early to say this is a done deal. But again, keep an eye on their regulations for advertising. And Vermont, the Vermont Senate Finance Committee heard testimony regarding the potential online sports betting bill. They have moved it forward. Vermont could be passing sports betting this year.
Well,
so
Vermont, like we said before, is like Tennessee. There's not going to be any retail sports betting. It's all online. So, no one's building any sports books in the state. It's all going to be online. So, I guess they can start right away.
It could be passed. I don't know about starting
well,
right away. You're going to have a lot of rules and regulations.
Sure. There's always going to be rules and regulations, but there's no physical structures to worry about.
Exactly.
So,
all right, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. We've been following along on TV. We've had the ticker going, flying by, having news stories that we didn't have a chance to cover in this half hour. Full print version with even more news stories will be up on the blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. You'll see the full print version there. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.